Good evening, everyone. I hope you're doing well. So, I just learned that the Video Game Awards nominations have come out and that the event is going to be on December 8th. So, that's 24 days from now, as I can see on the screen here. So, I think I'm just going to go over my reaction with you guys to just see, who's getting nominated. So, let's take a look at the nominees. Review all categories, please. Game of the Year. Okay, wonderful. A Plague Tale Requiem, of course. It was a great game. I don't know if it's like Game of the Year category yet, but it's definitely a very interesting project, as many of you have seen my review. Elden Ring, God of War, of course. Those are the two meteor strikes of the year that basically kind of bookend the year. Like Elden Ring in early February, if I'm not mistaken, and then God of War nearly at the end of the year. Yeah, two massive games. I'm betting that's between these two. Horizon Forbidden West, definitely an impressive, massive, and well realized game. I didn't do a review on this one, but I definitely think it's a great game. There are some things that do bother me, but you know what? For the most part, and in terms of narrative and world building, I think it's a fantastic piece of video game entertainment. And okay, we have Stray and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, I didn't get to play. I would love to, but I'm just so busy that I just don't think I have 150 hours to squeeze in before the year's end. And Stray, I did play it, didn't do a review. I love it. The cat's super cute, but Game of the Year, get why it would be here. I think it's kind of become this like sensation on the internet, and people genuinely love it, and I do get why. I mean, cat lovers, even me, I'm not particularly a cat lover. I mean, like, I'm not racist against cats. I'm more of a dog person or bird person, as some of you may know. But even me not being a cat person, I just fell in love with this beautiful feline character. I do find that the game is a bit bare bones, a bit too bare bones, but what it does beautifully. So I get it. I get the hype. Okay, that's category one. Next category, best game direction. Elden Ring, God of War, Horizon Forbidden West, Immortality. Okay, I wasn't expect. I'm happy to see it there, but I wasn't expecting that at all. And Stray. So yeah, once again, like I get the hype over Stray. Maybe I wouldn't personally put it there, but I'm not insulted to see that there. But Immortality, like I'm very happy to see it there because for those of you who may have seen the review, I think it's a fantastic game, a really disturbing experience, but such a unique and well crafted and indeed well directed experience. So I'm thrilled to see that there. And of course, the big three. I excuse me. I think these three games are going to be basically in just about every technical and creative category. They really are remarkable projects. All right. Anything else? No. Next category. Best narrative, Plague Tale Requiem. I think some people would disagree about some of the narrative choices in Plague Tale Requiem. I get where they're coming from, but personally, I think there's a lot of ideas that are well executed. To each their own. But Elden Ring, the world building in Elden Ring is just mind-boggling. God of War Ragnarok. I mean, it's on pause right now for me to just give you guys not my intentions, my impressions of these award nominations. Horizon Forbidden West, I definitely think the narrative is one of its stronger parts. I think some people were annoyed by the never ending, exhausting tree of dialogue choices with some of the characters. But personally, I think that's some of the most interesting world building and character building events happened. And even like beyond that, there's definitely a lot of great stuff. And once again, Immortality, I'm fucking thrilled to see it here. I think it's a powerful and a pretty groundbreaking gaming experience for me. Definitely one of my favorites of the year. Okay, so yeah, it's a very strong narrative category. I would have maybe replaced a Plague Tale Requiem with Norco, for example, but that's just me personally. And speaking of Norco, I do hope that we see it at least once here. Best art direction. Elden Ring, God of War, Horizon Forbidden West. Yeah, the top three, these guys are gonna be there for sure. And Scorn, yeah, absolutely. I think as disturbing and as confusing of a gameplay especially as a gameplay experience, it can be really an alien experience. But the art direction, oh my god, it's quite something. And Stray, yeah, I totally get why the art direction category would be representing Stray because it really is a phenomenally looking game. I think that's one of the parts it nails the most. Absolutely, I love this dystopian cyberpunk world that they created, and the cat looks beautiful too. Best score and music. Hellsinger. Well, of course, it will find itself here. I mean, I didn't get to play it, but that makes a lot of sense. Once again, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, can't really comment too much. Plague Requiem definitely has some. I mean, as I mentioned in my review, there's some truly powerful moments that really add to the drama. So I'm definitely okay seeing that there. And Elden Ring, God of War, Ragnarok. I mean, still plowing through God of War Ragnarok. Definitely a force to be reckoned in. Elden Ring, it's a near perfect game on all levels. Literally, it's an absolute mastodon size of a game in terms of its size and its power. So yeah, totally makes sense. Now, would there be a game that I feel that should be there? Norco, definitely. I think the soundtrack in Norco is a remarkable soundtrack. Definitely one of my favorites of the year. I think Cult of Lamb also had a very interesting soundtrack. I mean, it's hard for me to judge like if I'll replace any of these two because I'm sure there's quality in there, but I just haven't played them. So, but there you go. Like if I would personally, I would have removed this and added Norco and Cult of the Lamb, for example. Next category, best audio design. Okay, I haven't played Modern Warfare 2. And what did it just make $1 billion in 10 days? Holy fucking shit! God damn. But that's besides the point. Elden Ring, God of War, Horizon, of course, that makes sense. I mean, these are immaculately created games, absolute passion projects, and definitely some of the bigger. I mean, I think these kind of categories, of course, like these massive AAA games are going to get the recognition. I mean, this is basically a AAA loaded. Is there anyone else? But no, indeed. I think a bit of indie representation should be there. I mean, once again, Narco. I think the sound design is just incredible. It's not just the music; it's the ambience, texture of the sounds, everything about it just speaks volumes. I mean, that game alone, I think, at least should be there because yeah, I mean, I'm not hating on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 or Gran Turismo 7, but like these are kind of like obvious choices. Even like Horizon Forbidden West is a bit of an obvious choice. But yeah, I get it, but I think we should see a bit more indie representation here. Best performance. Ashley Burge for Horizon Forbidden West. Yeah, she had a lot of content in this game, and she did a phenomenal job. Honestly, once again, I think the narrative and the characters are my favorite parts of the game by far. Charlotte McBurney in Plague Tale Requiem. Yeah, definitely, she had a phenomenal moment, and oh my god, I mean, okay, I guess I'll just go by order. Christopher Judge in God of War Ragnarok. Absolutely. I mean, I'm not done yet. Okay, I see that there's also Sunny Soljic in God of War Ragnarok for, I think he's playing Atreus or Loki. Um, that makes a lot of sense. They have some pretty incredible narrative moments in the game. I mean, once again, I'm still playing through the game. I'll probably make a review as soon. Well, I'm not gonna rush myself. I'm really taking my time to enjoy this game, but it's a powerful game narratively. There's a lot of nuance in the characters, so it totally makes sense to see both of them here. They really are the heart and soul of the game. But I'm so fucking thrilled to see Immortality getting some love at the Game Awards, the Video Game Awards. Excuse me. Manon Gage was incredible. She had such a powerful role in basically three films in this one game. Yeah, I'm thrilled. Personally, I would give it to her. I mean, as you guys can see, I'm just head over heels in love with this game. I wouldn't be surprised to see if either Christopher Judge or Sunny Soljic will win. Um, Personally, I would probably go for Manon Gage because I was just so enamored by her performance and by this entire mystery around her character. Yeah, what a game. But yeah, it's a very strong cast. I don't have any complaints whatsoever on this. Next category, let's go. Games for impact. Okay, as dusk falls, first thing that jumps to mind, I really, really, really love this game. I had no idea that I would love it as much as I did, but goddamn, Games for Impact, definitely it left an impact on me. From the moment I started playing, I realized like, oh my god, this is something. Yeah. As for the other games, MMR Blue, I see Annapurna's name there. I should probably check that out because I'm completely ignorant of it. Citizen Sleeper, Endling, Extinction is Forever, Hindsight, I was a teenage, and the Exocolonist. Goddamn, I am totally missing the boat here. I don't know any of these games. I'll make a note to try and check them out. I don't know if I'll have time. Maybe once again, if I learn to just soul split and check these things out. Until then, I'm thrilled to see that As Dusk Falls this year. We'll see if it's in any other category. All right, let's go. Best ongoing game. Apex Legend, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, of course. I mean, I just started playing it, and especially this Endwalker expansion, I just hear nothing but rave stories about it. So, I mean, it's gonna take me a long fucking time to get around to it, but one day, one day. Fortnite, Genshin Impact, honestly, I don't really play these kind of games. I'm much more of a single player narrative kind of guy. Once again, not racist to multiplayer games. They are great for the people who enjoy them. I did enjoy Destiny 2 quite a lot. I remember when I was working at Warner Brother Games, we had our own guild, and I don't know if they call it guilds in these games, but in any case, we had our troop of developers at work where we were constantly playing the game. And yeah, those are great times. No regrets. I love the 3Cs, and the shooting mechanics are some of the best in the industry. But yeah, Final Fantasy 14, I'm putting my money on that one. Next category, Best Indie. Neon White. I absolutely adore that game. I think it's a masterpiece game. Near perfect. Yeah, check out my review about it. I was swearing a bit too much in that review, but that's besides the point. I'm still learning about this whole YouTube channel thing. Cult of Lamb, I gave it a 7 out of 10, but like I still think it's a great game. I definitely recommend it. Even if I do have some quips about it, I definitely love my experience with this game. Sifu, badass, challenging as hell. Way too challenging for some people, maybe, but a super rewarding and satisfying game. Definitely, definitely deserves to be there. Stray, once again, I'm not going to complain at all. Like even though I do have some game design issues with the game, it's an immaculately made game for what it is. And I don't mind that it's short at all. Honestly, like I'm perfectly happy to pay full price for what it was, and I was thoroughly satisfied. Honestly, it's a great game. No complaints whatsoever. And Tunic, yeah, another great. Yeah, this indie category I think is pretty spot on. Apart from perhaps Immortality and Norco really should be here. If I had to sacrifice one, I'm battling between Stray and Cult of the Lamb. I think Norco absolutely must be here, and I'm kind of bummed out to see that it's nowhere to be found so far. I'm still crossing my fingers to see it at least once throughout any of these categories. But yeah, and I didn't really give my comments on Tunic. I love Tunic. I didn't do a review on my channel because this was before I was active. But yeah, this is a really interesting game. Definitely like harkens back to the classic Zelda games, but quite a challenging one. There's a lot of really interesting exploration ideas, a lot of very interesting the UI elements that I really, really loved. This anyways, I won't go too much into detail, but thumbs up. It's an outstanding game. Definitely one of the best of the year. Okay, next category. Best mobile game. I don't really play mobile games. I'm not a fan of the whole microtransaction live service stuff. I think in many ways it's a bit of a cancer in the games industry. Prove me wrong. Next category. Best community support. Well, once again, like I don't really play these games. Apart from Destiny 2, which I did enjoy very much, but I kind of grew tired of it. Though I do hear it's doing very well. So, like thumbs up for them and for all the players who are enjoying the game. And Final Fantasy 14, I dived back into that, taking a bit of a hiatus because there's quite a lot of games coming out at the end of the year. But yeah, definitely. Yeah, these two definitely make sense. I mean, all of them make sense, frankly, but I haven't played the other three. Moving on. Innovation, accessibility. As Dusk Falls, God of War Ragnarok, excuse me, Return to Monkey Island. I want to play that as soon as possible. Last of Us Part 1, and The Quarry. Um, I mean, The Last of Us Part 1 was a great remaster for what it was worth. Definitely some questionable stuff in regards to the price of the product and also the fact that an entire multiplayer segment wasn't in this version of the game, even though they're selling at that here in Canada $89.99 plus tax, which is basically $100. It's kind of insane, but basically all the accessibility features in Last of Us Part 2, which really were groundbreaking, I think set the standards for the entire AAA games industry, are here. So it's kind of like I don't know if they added anything new really here. So I mean, it makes sense because still is setting it is setting the bar really high. But I would like to comment on the quarry because though I do have my issues with the game, I still enjoyed it very much. But I really like shoot, I'm forgetting what they called it, but basically they had this like director mode, and you could choose like I don't want to butcher it, and I don't want to like miscall what they did, but they did some very interesting stuff in there that I'm a really big fan of. So once again, I don't think the core is perfect. It has some issues that in the game, but still a very interesting, an enjoyable project. Jesus, I'm eating my tongue here. I highly recommend it, and I'm happy to see it here because it definitely does deserve to be shouted out for it. Best VR AR. I haven't been playing any VR in quite a while, or AR for that matter. So I don't have much to comment on that. Among Us and VR, I didn't even know they had a VR version of that. Cool, cool. All right. Next category, best action game. And first on the list, Bayonetta 3. Yeah, I just did a review on that game. It's a badass game. Neon White as well. I'm thrilled to see that again. Definitely is a heavy action game. I'd say it's more of like a speedrunning game than an action game, but definitely has some pretty badass action elements. I think it's basically a battle between. Okay, you know what? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge. I didn't play it. I'm not the biggest Jesus, eating my tongue again. I'm not the biggest Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan here. I didn't grow up on all the cartoons, but it does look like a fantastic action game to play, especially with friends. But honestly, I'd say it's between Bayonetta 3 and Sifu. Um, Probably leaning more towards Bayonetta 3. I think there's some decisions in Sifu that are kind of too insane for your average Joe, but for the most part, yeah. These two games are fantastic. I love them to death. Quite literally in this case. And once again, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, I'd be interested in playing the campaign, but I don't want to shell out like 80, $90 for just a 6-hour single player campaign because I'm not gonna play the multiplayer. I'm just not. All right, next category. Best action adventure. Plague Tale Requiem. Yeah, I'm okay with that. God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West makes sense. Stray. What's the category? Best action adventure. I mean, on the adventure side, yeah, but the action, I don't know. Yeah, I think another game could have been chosen here. Like Elden Ring, for example. But you know what? I'm not going to complain too much. I mean, I'm perfectly okay to see these guys getting as much love and support as they can because they really did a wonderful project. And Tunic, absolutely. Like I mentioned a moment ago, I think it's definitely one of the best games of the year. It definitely does a call back to the old school Zelda's games, and it does quite a lot of things uniquely. Honestly, I highly recommend check it out. And it is on the Game Pass, I think, and it got released on PlayStation as well. I don't remember which other consoles, maybe on the Switch as well. Anyways, don't quote me on that, but do go check it out. All right, best role playing. Okay, yeah, Elden Ring. I think nobody else is going to take this award. Live Alive. Is it Live Alive or Live Alive? I don't know. I heard really good things about it. Once again, I'd love to check it out, but I don't have time for it. Pokemon Legends Arceus. Honestly, I'm I grew out of my Pokemon phase a long time ago. I'm not gonna waste my time on these things. I mean, but for anyone who's enjoying them, by all means, thumbs up. Triangle Strategy seems like a very interesting game. I just, once again, I don't have time for these massive RPGs. I did have time for Elden Ring because I'm just an absolute sucker for From Software, and I think that their world building, their mise en scène, and basically their level design is among the best in the industry, if not the best. Yeah, a force to be reckoned with. And Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I mean, out of all of these, if there's one that I wish I would have time to play, it would be this one. I definitely think it would be exactly my cup of tea. So maybe I'll get around to it a bit late to the party. We'll see. We'll see. Next category, best fighting game. Um, so I'm not really into fighting games. I think a lot of these games are multiplayer by nature. I think if you're playing single player, like you might get some mileage out of it. Like I remember having fun playing the Soul Calibur 2 on the what was it, the GameCube. That was a lot of fun, but you know, like beyond that, I never really got into it. Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. I respect the hell out of them, but just not my cup of tea. But seeing Sifu there, I'm putting my money on that. But I wouldn't be surprised if another game takes it. But I'm putting my money on Sifu. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm disturbing you. My birds want to sleep. Soon, my loves. It'll be done. Best family game. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I haven't played it. I'm sure it's a lot of fun, but just I had to choose my battles. Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. I tried it out for a bit. You know, it's fun, it's cute, but like it just didn't last long for me. Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope. I mean, out of all these games, this is the one that I would probably want to play the most. Honestly, I think Ubisoft has been on a pretty bad failing streak. I mean, fail. A bunch of like okay or mediocre or some flops, honestly. And I think the Mario Rabbids games have been some of their best in the last 10 years. I'm not even joking. Like the last one that came out, what was it, in 2017? 2017 or 2019? I think it was 17. Anyways, outstanding game. I highly recommend it, and I think this one falls in the exact same camp. Definitely, probably one of the best games of the year. All right, best sim strategy game. Um, I don't really play these kind of games either. I mean, Total War Warhammer 3 looks phenomenal. I heard a lot of good stuff about Victoria 3 as well. Honestly, I heard a lot of good stuff about all these games. So I'm pretty sure this category is quite representative, but it's just not my cup of tea. So I won't comment further on that. Best sports racing, same thing, not my cup of tea. But Ollie Ollie World, I didn't play it. I love the hell out of Roller Drum. And holy shit, now that I mentioned Roller Drum, where is Roller Drum in any of these categories? Yeah, that's a snub. That's a snub. But I'm thrilled to see Ollie Ollie World here. And I think out of all these games, I mean, yeah, seeing just how infested with microtransactions, these games at least are. I don't know about this one. I'm guessing as well. Well, EA Sports, okay, probably, almost certainly in this case. I'd be happy to be proved wrong, but I don't think I will be. So I'm putting my money on Ollie World because honestly, these guys are just super creative. It looks visually phenomenal, and it's definitely by miles the most unique game out of any of these. Next category, best multiplayer. Once again, I'm not a multiplayer gamer, but if I'm looking at these categories, well, you know, I heard good stuff about the multiplayer in Modern Warfare 2. Well, actually, I did hear. I heard mixed. I hear people that love it, and I hear a lot of people that have some pretty legitimate complaints. But I am not in a position to comment further on that because I just don't play them. Um, yeah, I'm not going to comment further on this category because I just don't play these games at all. Content Creator of the Year. Um, I actually don't follow any of these guys, so you know, like, good for you guys. But I haven't followed you guys. Best debut indie. Okay, now we're talking. Uh, this is the first mention I see of Norco. Um, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to see it. And Neon White again. I'm happy to see that Neon White's getting quite a bit of love here. I'm really happy to see that Neon White and Immortality got quite a bit of love in these award categories. Stray again definitely deserves a spot here. Tunic as well. Like I said, I think it's a fantastic game. That game, I think my video cut off for a moment. Vampire Sapphires definitely as well has become a bit of an internet sensation. Maybe I'll do a little video on it soon because I did kind of just stumble across it recently since it came out on the Xbox Game Pass. Yeah, definitely an insanely addictive but satisfying game to play. Yeah, I'm quite happy with this list overall, and I'm really, really, really happy to see that Norco at least gets one mention over here. It really is an outstanding game. I can't tell you guys how much I love it. Next category, best adaptation. Um, okay, I didn't even know they had this kind of category. Cool. Okay, Arcane and Cyberpunk. It's a battle to that between these two. Without even looking at the other categories. Okay, which ones are they? Cuphead Show. I haven't watched it. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Uncharted. I haven't watched these two films. For me, I feel like they fall into the guilty pleasure category. You know, there's nothing wrong with that really, but it's a battle to the death between Arcane and Cyberpunk. I think Arcane's gonna take the cake because that. I mean, I did a review on Cyberpunk Edge Runners recently, and I do think it's an outstanding fever dream of a cyberpunk dystopian world, and I think it basically supercharged the best part of Cyberpunk 2077. But Arcane is just, yeah, it's a bit of a masterpiece. I think Castlevania and Arcane kind of just finally broke the curse of a video game to film or TV show adaptation that have just been abysmally bad. And not only are they good, they're not even great, they're just outstanding. Like I said, masterpieces. It's if it's not a 10, it's like a 9.5 and up. Most anticipated game, Final Fantasy 16, definitely anticipating that. Hogwarts Legacy, I'm interested to see how this is going to turn out. I think it could go either way. I'm a bit worried. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, I'm excited to see how it turns out. The Resident Evil 4 remake, I think it looks amazing. I love what Capcom has been doing with the Resident Evil franchise. I think Capcom in general has kind of had a bit of a resurrection recently, so I'm thrilled about that. Starfield, similar to Hogwarts Legacy, I'm excited to see how it does. I think this is like, you know, as much fun as I've been having with the Xbox Game Pass, I think Xbox has been really missing like a exclusive exclusive game that PlayStation has just been dishing out. I mean, just this year we had for Horizon Forbidden West and God of War Ragnarok. I mean, these are just two titans that even in the entire Xbox Series X catalog, there's nothing that comes anywhere close to any of these games, any one of those games. So I think Starfield is the only hope they have right now on the horizon that I can think of. But I am worried. I mean, Bethesda has had a bit of a bad track record in recent years, but I'll be happy to be proved wrong. And of course, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I think this comes as a no-brainer. I think this is the one that's probably going to win this category because, I mean, Breath of the Wild is a game that, I mean, is it 10 out of 10 or not? You know, whatever. I think, regardless what you might score it, I think it just is one of the most innovative games on a game design level, on a game design perspective, rather, in the last 10 years. And that's rare nowadays. So, yeah, this category makes a lot of sense to me. Is there another one that I would add or replace here? None that come to mind immediately. So, yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with this here. Oh, what is that game that Ninja Theory is working on? It's not Neo, but it's basically like a fuck. I'm forgetting what it's called. Okay, best esports games. Once again, not a multiplayer guy, so yeah, I'm aware of these games, but I don't play them, so I'm not going to comment further. Skip to the next. Best esports athlete. Same thing. I mean, congrats to you guys for getting a nomination, but I don't play these games at all, and I don't follow these kind of stuff. So you're talking to the wrong customer here. Best esports team, same comment as before. Congrats to all of you guys. You guys, I mean, I don't follow this, but I do catch glimpses every now and then, and these guys are absolute wizards with the controller or mouse and keyboard. God damn. I would never want to go up against these guys toe to toe in a match. Uh, Next category, best esports coach. Once again, congrats to you guys. And finally, best esports event. Okay, so that wraps it up for the categories. So yeah, overall, definitely there's some good picks. I wish I saw Norco get a bit more. I'm flabbergasted that Rollerdrome didn't get anything at all. I do think that the reviews have been a bit mixed from what I remember, but I think that the people that love it absolutely fucking adored that game. So I do think it's a bummer to not have seen it, and at least in one category here. It's a shame, but it is what it is. Like I don't think I take these things with a grain of salt. Like I'm not going to lose sleep over like a Rollerdrome not getting a nomination or Norco not getting more. And that's the reason why I watch the Oscars, because I do believe in the celebration of greatness, and I think it's important to reward incredible artistic achievements, especially for the indie developers and those who are growing and need more support. I think it goes a long way for them in particular. But even the giant AAA projects, a good project that's well executed, it's a passion project like Elden Ring or God of War Ragnarok, it's a no-brainer to see them across all the categories because these really are passion projects. So yeah, we'll see how it goes further, and I hope you enjoyed my commentary on this. Maybe it's a bit long-winded. I'm still figuring out how to do these live reaction shots with you guys, but for the most part, I think yeah, I'll keep practicing, and hopefully over time I'll get better. It won't be so much of a mumbling fool in the future. All right, I'm going to bed and maybe play a bit more God of War and let these guys go to sleep. The birds I'm talking about. Anyways, take care. Good night. Bye.